Alright, hey everybody, it's David Breen with The Last Mice, and let's see. I just want to show you a little system I set up. So I've got a manual system that can override the motion capture, or I can just, depending on the scene, motion capture is good for lots of dialogue, but sometimes when you really want to capture the expression of a character, you still need to go in there and adjust and tweak things. So I've got pupil dilation, and the way these work is that each gizmo here controls left and right movements of the face, and then up and down if they're relevant. Well, usually it's both at once. Yeah. So we have pupil dilation. If you move it up, both of them down, they get smaller. And then if you move to the left and then go up, it's one or the other. Yeah. Okay. And then we have the right and left ears. And when you go up, ear goes up, down, and then when I go left, the ear goes in, or it goes back. And then when you rotate it, it kind of goes in a nice little circle. Alright, and then we have the eye-cheek squint, so we have squinting on both, or one or the other, and then cheek squinting when you go down. So it's either one or the other. Okay. Eye blinks, move up, eyes get wide, down, eyes blink. And then you can have a variation of this. And then we have brows. And so if you kind of move that in a circle, you kind of have that cool little whoop, whoop. And then you come down and he gets angry. Alright, and then we have the nose. This one's fun to play with. You can get him to just wiggle his nose around. Smile. And then frown. And then the middle one is just for his, it's a separate morph target just to have his mouth stretch out, and then you can adjust it. And then of course we have the jaw. Move down, opens the jaw, up, and it chews. So what's really cool about this system here is when you move left and right, it moves the jaw back and forth. So if you make circular motions, it looks like he's chewing. Alright. And then we go to whistle grin, and that's just, if you move it up and to the left, he'll kind of make a whistle, a couple variations of it. And then we'll go down and you'll do a dimple smile. So that's just a miscellaneous one. So what is really awesome about this whole thing is you can select all of them and then move. And look at that. Now that is incredible. All I'm doing is grabbing all of them at once and moving them in circles, and you can just play around with it. You can go, I don't want any of the mouse or the mouth controls, so it just moves those. I don't want his pupils to dilate, so I'll just move these. So any variation I want to grab, let's say that. And the brilliant thing is that you can actually animate all of these, since the animation dynamics seem to make sense in these circular motions morphing between all the up, down, left, and right states. It sure would be great to be able to animate it like that, not just move it. And so I had to do some tweaking on the original system so that these circles are not parented to these larger circles, because if they were, which was in the original outline for this system, then you cannot constrain these paths, and then you're kind of stuck there. So now if I create a circle, let's go to here, create a circle, give it a different color, and then I align this. Well, I have these all frozen right now, but usually you would align it to the larger circle to get it centered. So let's just put that there. Now if I take this circle here, which controls the left ear, and I go to Constraints and Path Constraint, now as I move the timeline, well, I have his cheek squint here is animated from previously. So yeah, if I move, oh, I deleted all of it. Oops. Oh, I just undid. Alright, so it's animation, constraints, and path constraint. So now you can see, let's jump into clay mode. Now it actually moves in that circle just from attaching it to the path. And then you can control your animations by saying over here, at what point on the timeline is it for its percentage along the path. And then they don't have to be circles, of course, it can be any shapes. But that is a very interesting way to animate, and it's all in theory at this point. I haven't actually done anything with it yet, but I am very soon going to get there. Alright, so after you delete the path, of course, you need to go down here under the motion panel, and you have to, under position, make sure you delete the path constraint from here as well. It's still looking on that path constraint even though it's gone. So if you don't do that, it won't, you try to move it, it won't move. So yeah, let me unfreeze all. So in order to center it, you just hold Alt, hit A, and it's back in the center. So that's a good way to manage all of that. And then I'll show you real quick. If I go up here to the eyes and rotate, make sure the pivot point is for the center of both items and not the average of the two. And well, it's not going to let me show it because my computer's low on memory or something. Notice how it does that when you try to animate something. It shows boxes and it gets rid of the mesh. One way to get around that is to go into clay mode, but then of course you can't really see. Well, you can see it there. You can see that as I have it wired so that as the eyes move, the skin around the eyes moves as well. It gives it a nice kind of bouncy look. I don't know. Makes it look a lot better. Alright. See you next time.